What is going on, guys? It's your boy here, Player X, with the Semi Limited Podcast. As usual, just want to thank everyone for listening and returning back for yet another installment of the Semi Limited Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Whether it's tuning in on YouTube or maybe checking out what's going on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, doesn't matter. You guys be showing love on all the platforms, and we appreciate it dearly. Apologies for the late drop. I know we were supposed to drop this episode yesterday. However, my computer's been super acting up with the new hard drive put in and everything like that. And then my computer guy wasn't able to come see me until like yesterday night. So, here we are now. So with today's episode on Wednesday instead. But on today's episode, we'll be going over some important information that Konami has decided to announce to us that is going to be format changing. So you guys definitely want to be paying attention, as well as contemplating if Konami will even give us the announcement that we, the players, have been waiting for about months now. And then last but not least, we'll be going over the winner of the YouTube giveaway that ended on Sunday night for those who are unaware of it. But before all that, let's get into these sponsored plugins. As usual, please go down to the Linktree link down in the description box below to follow all of our social sites. You'll click that link with a tab will come up with all of our social sites on there. Maybe it's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, IG, whatever it is, don't matter. We have it on there for you, so be sure to follow all of them. Thanks again for all of you guys for helping us hit 200 subs on YouTube. I think we're currently like 210 or 211 or something like that. But we'll be going over the winner for that giveaway at the end of this episode as well. And we will continue to do more giveaways as we hit more accolades. So 50 followers on TikTok, 100 on X or Twitter, 200 on IG and Discord, and then now 500 subs on YouTube. Speaking of the giveaways, shout out to Unplugged Gaming in Banlist, New York for sponsoring the podcast and also allowing us to give away some stuff for you guys as well. Be sure to join their Discord server in the description box below to be a part of their TCG communities, whether it be Lorcana, whether it be One Piece, who knows? Even if it's not just Yu-Gi-Oh, you can go do whatever you want out there. Magic, Pokemon. If it's on cardboard, they got a community for you down there. So go chit chat with someone, find out about a new TCG that you might be interested in, and then if you guys do wind up going in store, be sure to tell them that the boys over at Semi Limited Podcast sent you in, and they'll be sure to hook you up. And also a reminder to the duelists in the I would say New York area as usual. I will be hosting the Unplugged Gaming's premiere event or sneak peek for those who are boomers like me for Infinite Forbidden, which will be, I think, next week. Although we usually do it on Saturdays for duelists, unfortunately this time around we will have to be able to do it on Sunday, July 14th at 1 p.m. due to a Lorcana championship that will be going on at Unplugged the day before. So unfortunately, I know most people will be liking to have to do the 2-day sneak peeks, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, but you're going to have to pick and choose. At least this one on Sunday will be a little bit later than the Comic Zone one. So if anything happens, you don't pick the cards or get the cards that you wanted, or maybe you lost round one or something like that, you can always make your way over to Unplugged, and we'll be sure to accommodate you over there. And then last but not least, we also have Brad, aka Mr. Purrfect, live streaming on Twitch every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. His Twitch will be in our link tree down below as well. You can go ahead and click on that, and you can catch him deck building, crafting, maybe some theory testing, play testing with maybe himself, DB grinding, EDO Pro, Master Duel, whatever it is you guys want to see him do, he is down there doing it for you guys, and he's very interactive. So be sure to catch him every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch as well. Before we get into the episode, speaking of the man himself, I wanted to make sure that we had someone from the team come on and basically just talk to you guys as we had our episode today. So we also have Mr. Purrfect himself live in studio with us tonight for the episode. You want to say what's up and get your introduction in?
Oh, time to obliterate, baby!
Please stop. I knew this is a bad idea.
Hey, Infinite Forbidden's coming out. You got to get into that mindset, that Exodia mindset, and we're gonna be obliterating some stuff here.
You gotta get into that grandpa mindset.
And my deck has no pathetic cards.
It does have Ritual Beast though, so.
Hey.
But now that that's all out of the way, let's get into this episode by starting off with some of the reveals that Konami has had that has the whole community shook up right now. The peeps over at Konami decided that now would be a great time to announce that they are actually importing Moon of the Closed Sky over in the TCG from the OCG and it's going to be in the next core set, Infinite Forbidden, as well. On top of that, it will also be a secret rare. So out of those 10 to 15 secret rare slots, one of them is definitely going to be closed sky, and people are going crazy over it. So not only is the Fiendsmith archetype coming out with more support, the Millennium Ankh theme or Millennium theme or whatever it is, basically Grandpa's deck, and then now that said Fiendsmith package is going to be able to be splashed in just about any deck now that can spam 2 effect monsters on the field. It's literally a little bit crazy. Did you hear any of this news, Brad, or is this all like news to you?
I've recently been hearing about some of the Fiendsmith stuff. As far as the Millennium stuff, I was playing Snake Eyes, and I was playing, and this was maybe like a month or so ago. I was playing on EDO against an Exodia player, and they rocked my shit. Like I
Really?
mean, granted, I didn't know what any of the new stuff did, but yeah, they took it on the chin when I put up my board, and they just said, Exodia, that new fusion's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually play tested against any of the new Exodia stuff, like that Millennium theme yet. I did hear that it is low key bonkers. I have seen some like theory talking about that archetype, but I've never seen anything put into action. So I'm going to be very ignorant to that. But like that Fiendsmith stuff, I've definitely seen in action, and that shit is bonkers.
Yeah, the Millennium stuff, as far as like the Exodia, he's just like it's like a one punch deck. You basically just try to get your fusion to 8,000 attack, and it has an I believe it's an Omni Negate. I'd have to double check. And it just wrecks your opponent for one punch per game. It's pretty nice
Sounds
when
like
you're
something
not.
that Brad will probably be playing at some point in time in the future.
You never know. Whenever I decide to put down Lara.
I mean, this isn't too crazy to me. Have you heard like all the hype that everyone's been like, "Oh, Moon Mirror's here, the game's wrecked," and all this stuff. Like, I mean, everyone's been like talking about whether it will be imported, and now that we find out it is, especially before Nats, like everyone's kind of going crazy, and I don't know if it's married or not.
That's like saying that Goddess was going to be game warping and it was going to be, or game ending, I guess is the way to put it. And I don't think it is. I think, people are going to play around it. People are going to be more cautious. Same thing with Anima. They're going to be more cautious of where they're summoning their monsters. They're going to be careful. It's not going to be put into a zone that might be susceptible to getting sucked up by the new moon, moon of the close sky. So I'm sure there's going to be ways to play around it. I don't think it's going to be anything game ending as far as that particular card.
Imagine that shit though. They use Moon to target a monster, still go full Fiendsmith combo afterwards, and then let's just say they wanted to end on Closed Goddess. They get to use 2 monsters your opponent controls to link into it because Moon allows you to use one of them, and then the original text of Goddess allows you to use another one. So you can just completely tear your opponent's board apart now. I think that's crazy. Even if you take the Fiendsmith part away from it, the ability to target opponent's monster and then just be able to use it for a link of a link 5, so like you're using 1 less material, that's kind of crazy when you're already link climbing into it to begin with. So I think that concept is a little like bonkers. I think that's a little too good.
I mean, and don't even get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be using it for Goddess, but then again, Konami, they're not going to stop printing Link 5s. I'm sure eventually in the next, core sets in the near future, we'll probably get a Link 5 that's going to have some crazy effect that people are going to be flocking to. It's going to be like access code mixed with, what's its name? A Little Knight mixed with Skull Dread. It's going to be like a mixture, like a
Yeah.
clusterfuck of the 3. It's going to be like a crazy Link 5. So, yeah, eventually, in time, if it proves to be a problem, then who knows? Maybe it'll end up on the ban list next to Nightmare Mermaid.
Well, there's a couple Link 5s in the game right now. I mean, not to say that there's like the great ones, but like there's 5-headed dragon, Boral End dragon, Closed Goddess. There's a couple. There's a handful of them that I don't think they would necessarily need to use this to get into it, but that would be nice if they had the ability to use an opponent's monster as material to kind of establish some sort of advantage or presence on the field. So I think that that's cool, but it's not crazy to me that Konami would do this. I think that especially with Nats being like basically right among us right now, it's just hard to anticipate that they wouldn't think with their wallets over their brains. Like I don't think that everyone's saying, "Oh, there's no way we get Closed World before Nats." Like you're bugging. If you're saying, if I to myself say there's no way Konami would do X, they're about to do X, like whatever it is. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't believe that they would be, oh well, maybe we should just wait another set, or because there's nowhere else that they would be able to import it that would make sense. Although it's a bad timing that our Nats is like the same day or same weekend of release. I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not gonna try to make money with that shit. That shit just is crazy to me. I don't understand why everyone's like going so insane. Like we knew that the card would eventually come out regardless. We've seen these leaks for months. Uh, it
And it
just was a matter
specifically
of
has
them being
to
confirmed.
be a Link 5 too that it summons.
In order to use your opponent's monster, yeah. But they
Has
just,
to
I
be a
mean,
Link 5.
generically, it's just going to get used because it's a light feed link monster that you can just go straight into your
Oh, it's
fiend.
generic.
Yeah, well, the Fiendsmith archetype needs a light feed to link off with. It has a link 1. So
Oh.
you can take any 2 monsters because it's generic, it's much like Promethean Princess. Link right into this. You can target your opponent's monster to be able to link away later on if you want to, but the whole point is to just link into the link 1 and then just go straight from there into your Fiendsmith combo. You search out the Engraver searches for the 1 spell card, and then boom, you're off to the races. Especially if you got a Lori in the mix and you're able to get 2 more bodies on the field. Like, it's crazy the amount of advantage that just 1 card gets you, especially if you open it right.
Well, just from that video you sent me earlier from MBT, like just like the 10 different lines that he was going through, and it's crazy, just like the different interruptions that you're able to get off of it. And I mean, I've said in the past that I'm not looking forward to new shit coming out, and I don't know if Fiendsmith is going to be the breaking point for me.
Well, for
Guess we'll
those who don't know, these Fiendsmith cards that we're talking about are maybe those who have been living under a rock or a small tree for a small amount of time. This package of light fiend monsters generates you a link 2 and a rank 6 monster on the field, all without using your normal summon. So it's a discard engine. You use a whole bunch of light fiend monsters to be able to manipulate the board and fusion summon. The fusion summoners bring back monsters. There are also interruptions as far as sending cards you control and your opponent controls to the graveyards. So sending obviously being the key point in there, so there's non-destruction, which is pretty good. And then the engine gets even stronger when you piece in cards like DDD, High King, Caesar, or Beatrice as the rank 6 that you end on, allowing you to send cards like Maikashi, Trap, and then on the next turn you send the rollback to be able to lock your opponent out. If you wanted to maybe see some kind of combo and you didn't see any of your starters, you can go Beatrice, send, let's say, your Snake Eyes starter, and then the link 2 and Beatrice would link into a Promethean Princess, allowing you to bring back Ash, and then go at full Snake Eye combos from there. Ash search Poplar, Poplar search Temple, Temple go off, you know what I'm saying, yada yada. So it allows you to do all this without even committing to your normal summon. So this is insane, allowing you to even to clip up. You can even go into something like bring out those bodies and then like use the extra body to normal summon to go into an Apo before committing to your regular combo. Like the engine is crazy strong, and now that we know it's going to be in this set, we can at least all get the proper amount of playtesting and practice against it before Nats. But to say that it's going to warp the format, I don't think so. I think we can get ready for a lot of representation from the card, but I don't think it's going to be format warping at all. They'll probably ban more of the Snake Eyes cards than the Moon Fiendsmith cards, I think, in my eyes.
Oh no, they won't touch it for a while. But I'm saying if it was to become a problem, I mean, like I said,
Well, I know Noah was talking recently about it kind of being comparative to like the Mayakashi, how they might hit it like as soon as it comes out, just because they
to
know
avoid the
like what the
problem.
rest of the format's going to be. But it depends. Like I don't think that even still when they hit the Mayakashi, I don't think that they needed to outright ban it. I think putting it down to 1 just to make it so that way you can deal with these like non-once per turn monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like that's was a proper thing to do. I didn't think it needed to be banned. They kind of went up and over.
I mean, if you're playing more than one Maikachi trap, I don't know about. It can get limited at 1, it ain't gonna do nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Well, like, what are you gonna hit? Like the Engraver to 1, which is
Rollback?
it would stop.
Is
It would
too
stop.
soon?
It's not even stopping. If you put Engraver to 1, you're not even stopping the rank 6. Like they can still end on the rank 6 with the Engraver and then the fusion monster. So they still get to the rank 6 or link 2, whatever they want generically. So like, I just don't think that it's enough. Like what are they really realistically gonna hit from that engine to stop it? They're gonna have to ban cards. I was talking about that earlier. I mean, I know we're gonna talk about it a little later, but like, there's not much that a ban list could do that I think would super change things if, on the way that they've been going. They haven't been hitting decks. They've just been slightly tapping them. So slight touch here and there, maybe an end board piece that you're ending on, but they're not hitting these decks directly. And I think that that's what we really need if we're going to be talking about shaking up the format to allow other decks in. Snake Eyes is gatekeeping the fuck out of most decks, the same way Cashtira was gatekeeping most decks when it was in power. Like, you just naturally can't go against that deck, so you either have to play that deck or build your deck to specifically go against it.
I mean, the way it is, I mean, everything is always going to get power crept. And like this time next year, just like how like it's like when I mean Sprite, I definitely would say it was good too when Cash Tier was out, but like still like I think Cash might have had a little bit larger of a representation just because of like the powerhouse that it was. But this time next year, like how Snake Eyes is, top now, it's gonna be like it's gonna be in everyone's binder. Like think of how like Rescue Ace was so crazy up until the Snake Eyes stuff came out, and like almost instantaneously people jumped ship from that fire from the Rescue Ace over to the Snake Eyes, and then this time next year there's going to be something else that's just better. Everything is going to get power crept, and Konami's going to release just the new cards and just add extra little effects that's basically the same as something else, like like Baby Maxi, for example, that we're going to be getting.
Yeah, like Malchummy.
And yeah, what's it called again?
Malchummy, Pirelli Malchummy.
Malchummy. Yeah, yeah. Bless you. But. But no, yeah, like when that card comes out, I mean, like everyone's gonna be splashing in it. But this time next year, there's gonna be a different hand trap that's just gonna be 10 times better than that's gonna be. And then again, who knows? Maybe it'll get limited or, banned with Maxi if it gets really to be a problem because you're at least getting one off of that card.
Most decks special from the hand at least once.
Or normal too. It's normal or special. So it's like you're guaranteed at least one draw at the very least, or your opponent's just going to pass turn and it's going to be like a Maxi situation. So it's really no different.
But you do have to have no cards to you control. So like it's like a shifter effect where it's like draw or die. If you don't open it, why even play it? You know what I'm saying? This isn't a main deck because if you have it in hand and you win the die roll and go first, it's pointless. You can't activate it. So you're not going to make your opponent go first unless you're on Tempai. And then, so you're going to have to sideboard it, but you're only sideboarding it when you're going second. Like, I just don't see you putting it in going first. Or there's no world I see.
Well, you probably main it, but then again, like, just like you said with the dice roll, you never know if you're going to win the dice roll or not. So I guess it's just to have it, just in case, and then you side accordingly. But I still think people are going to be playing 3. If people could play 3 Maxi, they'd be playing 3. So this is basically the same, just like how people play 3 shifter. You can't have anything in the graveyard, but that card is that damn good that you take that risk of playing 3, even if you draw it in the later game. I feel like this is going to be the same way. The card's just that good. You're either going to get at least the very least one draw, and flu players are going to cry, or I mean, Sprite players too. Like there's a lot of decks that it's going to affect. It really does. But other than that, it's either that or your opponent just maybe sets a monster and prays to God that you break so you don't OTK him. And like it doesn't even have to be Snake Eye. Like a lot of decks have the potential to OTK now because of the whole power creep that I was mentioning before. It's just easy.
Still don't think that this is like. There are certain cards that are like staples in any deck. Let's just say I'm putting a generic deck together right now. I know for a fact it's gonna have 3 Prosperity. I know for a fact it's gonna have 3 Ash Blossom. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact it's gonna have like X card. Like this is not a card. Yeah, 3 Imperm. You're probably gonna have 3 Valor. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have hand traps or something like that. I just don't see this being a card that's a staple card that no matter what you're playing Malchummy with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. It doesn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just ignorant. Who the fuck knows? Hey, I'm just a nigga at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just some guy speaking into a microphone. Who the fuck knows? But it just to me, it doesn't feel like look at Gnome Material. And I don't mean to like bring it up on you, but like that card on paper
sounded
looks
so good.
Great. Looks fucking great. But then you get into it and it's like, oh, damn, I didn't even see it. Oh, I drew it for 6 card. That sucks. Oh, I saw it, and then they were able to special another monster and then continue on that way. Oh, that sucks. Like, on paper, yeah, that shit sounds lit. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a bunch of It's a card game where like a lot of cards on paper sound good, but just don't have applications in the form. Monster Reborn says target any card in any graveyard and bring it back to your field. And niggas don't even play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just to a point where like I don't know if it's gonna be a staple in deck building. That's just me. Quote me now if you want. Bring me back, slaughter me however you want to, but I don't think to the point where I also don't think that if we even get a ban list that it would be anywhere near a ban list. Like everyone in the OCG was talking about, oh, ban Max C because they got Mulchemy now, so they can they got Max C Light, so they can ban it. Like, first off, I don't think if I'm being 100% blunt, I don't think a ban list is safe in this fucking format. Period. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
Unless the one we receive will seriously put people in check for these powerhouse decks today, I don't think it even matters. Like we can get one right now that's gonna like put Snake Eyes to 1, or sorry, Ash to 1. It'll put fucking Bonfire to 2, and then maybe SP Little Knight to 1. You have IP to 1. Maybe ban Apo, but even that's not like a big hit.
See,
this
and
is
then, like,
again hitting end board pieces. Who fucking cares? Like, who cares about Whitewoods if you have Snake Eyes? Who cares if you have Millennium cards coming out when you got Tempai? Who cares if you have Melodious that does a super cool fucking combo? If you got Fiendsmith that is gonna get washed out in turn 1 anyway, none of that shit matters. You know, like, unless they deal with these bigger decks, nothing else in the room matters.
I feel that. I definitely.
And that's what I feel as though is like annoying. So it's like, damn, I can't even go play my Earth Machines at locals because I know for a fact as soon as I pull out that deck, I'm going X3. Like as soon as I pull that deck out, you know what I'm saying? I can't keep up with it. Not with only the advantage that these one card like combos like really bolster, but then like you put that with the one card combo and the 4 other disruptions that they have in their hand, that one imperm is gonna shit all over my deck, and I'm sitting here like, damn, this wasn't that fun to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
And then you try to stop their one starter just for them to have another fucking starter.
Just for them to fucking witch me. I'm like, God damn, they're getting there anyway.
Yeah, it's so true. You know.
I mean, that's just me. None of these mid tiers will matter if something isn't done about the current list, especially before Nats. Like, imagine we're at Nats and like, I know they try to do the first 5 rounds of no meta or whatever it is, but like, as soon as you get past round 5, what else is there gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're
Snake Eye.
Well, yeah, unless you're cash priced out of the meta, you know what I'm saying? Like you just couldn't afford the Fiendsmith cards because again, they are dropping the week of. So it's like that same day, exactly. Everyone in the room is going to be clamoring for them. Ripping boxes. The vendors are going to be ripping them open as soon as they get the boxes in the venue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be because everyone's going to want it. I just think it's going to be everywhere. Like this,
people are going to be paying full retail so they can like ensure that they have their copies.
Oh, absolutely.
They got to submit their deck list ahead of time. If I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So you definitely believe that by Saturday morning, these motherfuckers are going to have the cards. I guarantee it. They're not going there spending all that money on a hotel, on a flight, or drive, or whatever it is, just to not play those cards that they wanted or they listed. So I know they're going to get them.
If they can't find them, that sucks.
What I don't want, though, is for them to do what they've been doing recently, where on day 1 of the Nats, they'll drop a ban list or some crazy shit and be like, damn, you couldn't have done that last week. You couldn't have done that 2 weeks ago. Give some people some time to practice. You're going to do it in the middle of an event? Because they've done it twice now. They've done it twice where on day 1 of a 2-day event, they'll just drop the ban list out of nowhere. So it doesn't even surprise me that Konami would drop a ban list on Nats season. Like literally. Like right on Nats.
Well, when did we get our last list? It was the end of May, was it?
I have to go look it up. That sounds about right.
I think it was like a little.
No, it's not. I want to say March. Wasn't it end of March? April?
No way.
We really waiting for that long? Konami hates us, dog. This is the shit I'm talking about.
Let's double check. Yeah, updated April 15th. So yeah, it's been almost 3 months of this list. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. So, and usually it's a
so yeah,
rotation.
Probably probably the end. I'm thinking middle of August we'll probably get the next list, honestly.
I mean, what do you even think would be a good enough hits to make a difference in a metagame? All right, cool. We get one in August. Well, like, what do you think would even have to be hit?
Well, I mean, like,
We'd have to make big hits. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not just
like you can't like
wrist slapping.
you can't murder Snake Eye because like if you do, then all you're gonna see is fucking Tenpai. All you're gonna see is Ice Barrier. All you're gonna see is fucking Ubel. Like you can't really like murder any deck or else.
They murdered Kashtira. That's all I want to
I
fucking
mean,
say.
like
They
it's
murdered my
like
deck.
because like the past few months, every tournament that you've gone to, all of the like I can't say all, but like a majority, at least like 65% or more, is Snake Eye, some sort of version of Snake Eye, whether it's pure Snake Eye Fire King, Snake Eye Kashtira, it's all Snake Eye. I mean, I feel like you can't murder the deck because it's like it's still gotta have playability because you know they still gotta be able to sell product, but they're gonna try to push newer shit too. But I don't know. It's weird because,
Yeah.
like I said, like with the power
Yeah,
creep
them
game,
cards have been out since fucking Age of Overlord, bro. That shit was like November of last year. We've had them shits. We've had them. We've had them for long enough. Like that's the way I look at it. There's no way the Megatons are gonna save it. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has their Snake Eye cards, and if you don't have them, by the time you get them, you should know that that shit's coming to the end. Like that's why they wait for the Megatons to give them. It's not like this is the first time they've done this shit, nigga. We know all this shit's about to happen. We're all fortune tellers. We all know, but we just choose to ignore it. Like it won't happen this time. No, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
because we are invested, we don't want to lose our
Like, what
investment.
do you honestly think that they could hit? Like, they're gonna have to. I'm not saying neuter Snake Eyes. But what I am saying is that shit needs to get brought down. Ban OSS. We could ban Oak. We could ban Promethean Princess. That's been out long enough, and it doesn't need to be splashed into every single fucking fire deck that needs to exist. You know what I'm saying? We could do things like
I say
hit
Princess would be a good hit.
I'm just saying we could do things that hit engine cards as well as disruption cards without hitting the Snake Eyes engine itself. Limit Flamberge. Why is Flamberge anything more than one? Make it so that way if I fucking crow that bitch, I'll never see another Flamberge again. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole bunch of shit that we could do that
Make him
just doesn't.
disappear like my daddy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fuck that. You know, like we don't need him in the format right now. Like, I'm not saying he can hit. They got to be gone forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm under the impression that as much as I hate tier elements, eventually one day maybe Kikolos could probably come back to one. I'm not saying that it'll be the most impactful thing to ever happen to a meta. I'm just saying eventually things, as you said earlier, get power crept. Things get stronger. Cards are only put on the ban list for certain reasons when people are abusing them for a particular purpose or a certain time frame. Like look at Protos. Protos was banned because it was abused in Sword Soul when Sword Soul was the best deck. Now Sword Soul's not even a fucking whim of a conversation,
It's in the
about
binder.
being in a metagame, and Protos is off the list. You know what I'm saying? I know it's only at 1, I think, but like even still, you might as well put the shit at 3 because no one's even gonna play it. Or if they are
Yep.
playing it, it's you have to jump through hoops now to resolve it.
Yep, because one hand trap will stop you when everything else that was released till a year later can play through 3 hand traps.
Dead ass.
And
I
then
invested 3 cards into a Protos, and then now I get impermed, and what? And I'm sitting here with my dick in my hand, like, oh shit. Well, I guess I'll try again next turn.
it's tough, sometimes if your opponent, sometimes if they got it, they got it. Like nothing I can do about it. Like I was playing online the other day against Marine Cess, playing Snake Eye, and I remember I hand trapped him 3 times. I think it was an Ogre, a Veiler, and an Imperm, or like a Ash and Imperm or something. It was 3 hand traps, and they were still fucking playing. Like
Yeah.
if they got it, they got it. Sometimes it's like you're supposed to fucking stop. Like after 2, you're supposed to pass turn 3. Is supposed to be the final fucking nail.
Like I hit the 3rd, and you're supposed to immediately click end phase. Like what?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not one if
Still-
you got it, but end it.
Still cooking. Brought out that big ass Link 4 bitch with the battle ocean and everything. I'm like, okay.
And then if I'm talking about linking, if we're bridging, if we're talking about in the future, if they're gonna, because we have to have this ban list last for the next 3 months. At some point in time, we're gonna have to touch this Fiendsmith shit. Even if it's not just the link that bridges them, because I don't think that that's the problem. Like I don't think Closed Moon is really the problem card. You know what I'm saying? It's just a generic ass fucking monster. Like You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the problem. It's just the Fiendsmith cards. Like Engraver's eventually gonna have to go to one. Like we'll probably have to either ban Lori or something like that, or something that allows them to start using the engine for its intended purposes. Like we have to kind of like steer the people that way. And I'm not saying that those are even good hits. I'm just saying we need to do something about it. Like for them to not acknowledge that these cards are good or taking over, they see the stats, they see the regional lists, they see the YCS stats, they see everyone at locals that gets turned in. All the information gets turned into them. It's not like they're just blind to the fact. They have all of the information at their fingertips, and they still choose to be like, we got time. They're fine down there.
I don't see
They're
it.
loving it. 65% of them is loving it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta cater to them.
Half of our player base is having fun.
Is there anything else on Banlist that you want to say before we move on to the last docket?
Well, as far as like what's worthy to go on the ban list, or like what's
Yeah, if you put some shit out there.
I mean, I still have a dark hatred in my heart for Gimmick Puppet, so that son of a bitch can go up there. I don't care if I don't see it that often. I don't care if I
I've been
don't.
preaching for that.
I don't care if I don't see it that often. I still have a disdain for that card. It can go away.
Not seeing it that often is still too often enough.
Bring back my boy Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds.
Oh my God.
He did nothing wrong. You know,
the stun in you is ridiculous.
You know, free my boy.
Yeah, they're bringing back a Rise Heart too.
Guys. Wait until the new water shit comes out. Everyone's gonna be slapping that barrier, the water torrent statue. So be ready for that.
Yeah, all the barrier statues eventually gonna wind up fucking.
I'm ready to just fuck all of them.
Yeah, who fucking knew that a barrier statue was fucking that strong?
Ban every single one except for the dark one, because basically everyone plays darks.
But yeah, I mean that's fine with me. I mean, honestly, I think that all the barrier statues at one point in time can be abused, and it just depends on what format they're being abused in, is what point in time they lie on the ban list. But you know, hey, whatever. This is me. You don't think anything else could be like? I think more influential. Even I kind of like where your head was at. Even coming off, I think that we could like get shit moving on.
I mean, as long as Bibby doesn't get all 6 Infinity Barrier statues, I think we're okay to live live and see another day.
He would play one of each. I can see him doing it. We're just not special summoning at all.
As far as like the whole ban list thing, though, I mean, I did like what you were saying as far as before with Flamberge. I was even saying last month or a few months ago that Flamberge could definitely get hit. It's basically block dragon, but it's actually a fucking dragon, and that does the same damn thing. It still helps you link climb. Other than that, I mean, I don't think they're going to touch Bonfire. The wanted engine, I don't really think is an issue. I feel like it's more so the Snake Eye stuff that needs to get hit, if anything. But if you were to get rid of something like Oak or Limit Ash, then people are gonna, find ways to play around it. They're gonna play an extra Poplar. They're gonna play an extra OSS. They're gonna find different ways to abuse the deck and make sure it works as good as it can, with the few resources they might be losing from the ban or whatever.
For sure. It's never gonna. It's gonna have to be quite some ban lists. We can't get one of these little fucking taps on the wrist ban lists again. Like that's just not gonna cut it. I think people will. I think the people will revolt. Like it's gonna get bad out there.
They brought back my boy Colossus, so I mean, I can't really ask Konami for anything.
I think that was all you were asking for. Like,
yeah,
he's like, "Fuck it, I'm cool with Konami. They seem pretty chill to me. They brought Colossus back. We're vibing. I don't know what you guys talking about. I'm fine."
For the past 5 years, I was waiting for that bitch to come out his cage, yo. That's all I want.
Damn, he really was locked up for too long. That's a long. It's a long time.
Well, like 4 years. I mean, yeah, basically since COVID. Yeah.
That's crazy to think about if we put it in a longevity, but yeah, I can agree. I mean, hopefully they decide to do something, but that's impactful and not just some bullshit that we're like makes no difference. But with that said, we will move on to the last thing on the docket today, and that is the announcement of the winner for our YouTube giveaway for 200 subs. We finally hit that milestone, and to have entered the contest, all you had to do was be following the channel by subscribing, because we're not going to give something away to someone who's not already supporting the channel. And then you had to like our last video. I think it was the one where we had Vengeful Shadows and Winter Kills out there. And then while you were liking the video, you had to comment on it with the hashtag #GoTouchGrass. Because that was just one of the phrases that just stuck out for that episode. And if you commented, liked, and subscribed to the channel, it seems like uh, lots of you guys went to go touch grass because we had lots of entries you were all entered into, but we were only able to narrow it down to one winner. We went to the generator and basically gave everyone a random number, randomly generated the winner, and that winner is none other than Ian Fitzpatrick 3231.
Yo,
So
my
we
twin.
appreciate him. I don't know our boy Ian. He's like the Discord mod. I would say like ambassador because
He
the
a
man's
homie.
always in there. He's definitely the the mascot for sure. He's the homie. So appreciate you so much. Thank you for entering and supporting the podcast, my man, and showing love to all of our platforms so often. You will be the recipient of an official brand new brand new to you, a Konami official rubber playmat. It is the Phantasme one from 2019, one of the regional ones. It would be really, really nice in your
It's fucking
collection.
fire.
It is. It's really one of the nice ones. So we will be reaching out to you this week to confirm your status and to claim your winnings as well. So congratulations to Ian, and once again, thank you so much for supporting. And if you were not selected for this giveaway, do not fret. We will have plenty more to do as we continue to hit our social media accolades. Running those down again, like we said, we're going to try to hit 50 followers on TikTok, 100 on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it nowadays, 200 followers on IG and Discord for our Discord members, and then now 500 subs on YouTube. So be sure you guys are sharing the content. Once again, we have short form content every Wednesday and Sunday in the form of perfect pulls and local legends. Whether you're sharing the content, commenting on the videos, maybe sharing a podcast to a buddy of yours because you heard something that you wanted to talk about, or sparking just conversations amongst locals in general is basically why we do this all. So be sure to follow us on all of those platforms to be up to date on when we're doing giveaways and how you can enter yourself. With all that being said, guys, we're starting to run all out of life points. Be sure to click that Linktree link, follow all of our social sites to be a part of all of the giveaways and all of the knowledge and know-how. Also, shout out to Unplugged Gaming for sponsoring the podcast. Love them. Love having them on and making sure that we have a whole bunch of things giving away to you guys. So be sure to go down to their Discord, which is down in the description box below. You can join all the TCGs that they have over there and be a part of all of those as well if you're local. And if not, you can still go over there and chit chat with someone who knows a little something about a card game you might be interested in. Um, Also, be aware that July 14th, which was going to be that Sunday, guys, remember that Sunday, not the Saturday. So Sunday, July 14th at 1 p.m. we'll be having the sneak peek for Infinite Forbidden. I will be down there hosting it. We'll be making sure we give away the door prizes, making sure we give away the play mats, the banners, all that stuff. We're going to be making sure that you guys get all those boxes and those packs in with the field centers. So be sure to come check it out. We'll be doing a whole bunch of filming and doing a bunch of content stuff there. So catch us down there once again, July 14th at 1 p.m. Also, last but not least, you can catch Brad if you heard him on this episode today, but you can also check him out every Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Brad, you want to tell them what you guys do?
Like I said, it's your boy, Mr. Perfect, every single Saturday around 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can catch me on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/semi_perfect_gaming. Usually going through playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, everything Yu-Gi-Oh!, whether it be doing deck profiles, playtesting for locals the next day, trying to learn new decks like Ritual Beast, which I will probably be playing for a little while now that I kind of get a little better grasp of what the deck does. Bring out
Guys,
my
let's
boy Colossus.
do
Yeah.
this.
So yeah, no, make sure you come check me out. I'm always interacting with the chat, always down to talk things Yu-Gi-Oh, going over anything new. So yeah, come on in, have some fun, smoke weed with me, and let's have fun.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, right. With that being said, guys, we are all out of life points. Thank you so much for tuning in for yet another episode of Semi Limited Podcast. Thank you for supporting all the endeavors that we have. Congratulations once again to Ian Fitzpatrick for winning our giveaway, and be tuned for the next episode while we talk about what's going to be happening at Nats. For those who are curious to see what our mindsets will be, we'll try to see if we can get more guests in before that while people are preparing for Nats. Without any further ado, guys, I am Player X, and you've been listening to the Semi Limited Podcast. Thank you so very much, and good night.